Hey guys, this is Tigress coming back to you with Craftymon, and I believe it's episode 10, episode 11. Guys, basically, it's been a while, and I cannot remember what episode of Craftymon we're on. Episode 11. But like I say, guys, it has been a while, and we're back. Basically, yeah, I've basically just decided that even if something does seem boring and mundane, I'm gonna end up doing it. Like, Craftmon's gonna be the mix of between like basic vanilla stuff and like making, building stuff and all that, and actual practical stuff. But today we're going to first of all say hello to everyone because it's been a while, and say hello to the happy guest, which I'd completely forgot I had. But first, I want to check the bestiary, or in other words, the Pokemon deck, the decks, to see. Yeah, not what I wanted. There was something I do want to double check. And that very thing is 100% going to be at the right back. Just because, why wouldn't it be? Guys, the thing I want to get is the Elderer. Now, from what I can see, all I do need to get the thing, and it's going to basically be the big final thing that we do end up basically getting, is I need a Netherite Star. Actually, I'll check these first. Also, guys, the reason there has been no craft one is basically because it comes down to the case of, idea-wise, I've basically blanked. Like, just because part of me is like, do I really want to be essentially going back to a series very much like Quest? And that's essentially what New Adventures was, but I don't want to do a Minecraft series live. Basically, New Adventures was just a case of a. Where's the save way down again? Also, guys, it is one of those things where it's like, dude, aren't you essentially like. Because without realizing it, I'm either further along than I thought I was, or I've not set any. Because I've basically just not set any goals. And the goal is basically, very simply, get the big elder thing. But for that, I need a fortress. Also, guys, because Craftymon will basically just be that series that's just like a temporary thing, like. No, say no, no, I knew you could vow. But like, Craftmon's not going to be a permanent thing, because at some point it's like, hold on, what am I still doing? Now, at some point, there are a couple um, add-ons that I do want to go back. Like, you had a Trading Dragon one. I do want to go back at some point. Like, at some point, I do want to go back to that because apparently that's been updated. Part of me is kind of tempted to sort of do a dragon sort of series. I'd need to sort of just find the full point of doing it. Like, guys, part of me is still kind of tempted to sort of do like a hardcore series, but like, I know for a fact that I would fail. Like, I might at some point. But yeah, so basically after you deal with the electric unicorn, the pissed off monkey, you then, well, before you deal with the pissed off monkey, because again, go and deal with this in part 11, you then get a mission called Across the Lost Path, which is Stygian Zenogre, which is basically emo version of Zenogre. Now, the problem with emo version of Zenogre is it's not electric. It's not a deadly electric thing. It's a deadly dragon. It's dragon element. And guys, with Monster Hunter World, I can honestly tell you now, in the base game alone, you don't have that many options for dragon-based weapons. At least not many monster-based dragon-based weapons. Because you have Devil Joe and Basil Gears, you have Neo Gigante, and you have Valazar. Now, guys, you want to know what all four of those have in common? They're all high rank, all late game. Back when World came out, they were essentially, you know, end of the line stuff. Look what I found. In a reasonable time before Xeno, that gives you kind of two options. I'm going to say one. And Xeno doesn't count because at that point you're at the end game. Which means you have Devil Joe and Basil Gears. There's no specific hunt or like quest that you need to go after them. But they're also not easy, and they're also essentially they're going to show up during quests. The giant bomber plane. Will literally show up during. Yeah, the bomber plane will literally show up at any point during high rank, and then Devil Joe is also the same. I mean, it's kind of handy if I do ever like want to make an ender chest or something. But like, those are your literally only two options. Because like, Eldrains for the most part don't change, because the only Elder Dragon based stuff that you can get is before that is Zor Magnaros, which is Blast, and then the Electric Unicorn in low rank. No other point. Like Tiger X is Blast, Brachydios is Blast, Beotius Bambaro, uh, Ice, Viper Tobicadechi. It deals poison damage. Again, deals poison damage, but its weapons are paralyzed. I think it's kind of a case of to transition from electric to make somewhat more sense. Instead of just putting them down a separate weapon path, but yeah, so Lavinus and not the Kugu is I can't remember what that is. Quick ones. Porapukapuki is water. Nightshade Harumu is sleep. Um, again, not a Kugu. Because guys, it's one of those cases where Runa's not a proper fight. It's a case of deal with Runa, but it depends on. It really doesn't take that long. So, it's one of those cases where I'd wait to get to Safi, but then again, Safi also comes very late in game, and I'm not including any Safi-based weapons for the simple reason of that was honestly by accident. Guys, for the simple reason of I'm not including any Safi weapons because of when you get them. Guys, I can say for 100% certain, at this very point in time, I don't have any Safi weapons on the character I'm currently playing through Monster Hunter World with. Because at the current point in time, I've only just unlocked the ability to go after Safi. which I'll cover all in tomorrow's episode. Like, all that I'll be getting covered then. Also, guys, even if I was, like, because it's a case of, like, I want to show basically, like, how you unlock all of it and that lot. Even if I wasn't trying to show that, I haven't had time. Because, guys, annoyingly, Savvy gives you a weapon of each element. Which is great. And I might do a few Safi hunts before going after things like Elatrion and Fatalis. More likely before Fatalis, probably before Elatrion. But guys, I will not be showing Safi hunts for the simple reason of Safi hunts are one of those cases where I will show you how you get basically Safi hunts and how you get people to help you for Safi hunts, because Safi hunts don't function the same as most hunts. You want people to hunt you for Safi hunts and culture off hunts. You need to get those people to, like, you need to basically have a group. It's not the exact same with Fatalis and Latreon, but it works easier when you do for both of them. Because, trust me guys, it's one of those cases where you're going to want people, because in the last episode of World, like yesterday's episode of World, I was like, okay, so I've unlocked it. I'll basically show you what you need to do to unlock things like Elatrion, because why I don't plan to show Safi, because but so I basically just wanted to find out the difference. But so yeah, I basically wanted to know the differences, and guys, for the most part between like World, at least in World, I can't remember if Rise was different, or at least was different on the same levels. For World, it's one of those cases where the female's armor looks more. Guys, do you know how like the main like into literally gonna quickly answer this very simply? If any of you have ever seen Power Rangers, do you know how the case of where you can kind of basically tell, no matter the color, if the ranger has a skirt, it's a female ranger. Apart from a few cases where from the Sentai, Super Sentai cop, where the, for instance, Wild Force is like one of the first ones that comes to mind, where Yellow Ranger in Super Sentai was male. Apart from like cases like there, like there's a few cases where like I said, there are a few cases where if the Super Sentai counterpart was a male, then the suit's gonna look more male. Basically, it's kind of like that in World, where the best but the simplest way to basically attain it is, does that armor look more look at me sort of case? Then yeah, it's female's armor. Trying to get their arrows to sort of bounce. Like, I don't mind taking a tiny bit of damage. If it basically just means... Damn it. But yeah, so basically in World, it's like the male's armor looks more like we're big, buff, strong. Compared to females, it's like, we need some help. And guys, I do not agree with it. Also, guys, there's like 2 fortresses right close to each other, or at least one giant one here. Not that I need the iron. The gold I'm not going to say no to. I'd like to go away with a couple of other skills. But I'm going to presume I'm probably not going to get the 2. But, like, guys, taking out the fact of that how, like, you look at females' armor sets in World, I don't want to say Rise, and, like, it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, these look like they are. Taking out that, I do kind of think some, like, I do definitely think it kind of does depend on the armor. Ah. Okay. Guys, in between episodes, I will try and get some. It won't be now, it might be... See, it will depend. Like I say, in between, I probably will. Like, guys, the reason why, like, getting iron is not the biggest problem is... I made an iron farm, like, a while ago. I forgot about the skeleton horses. Here's me thinking, oh, I don't have food, and it's like, hold on, wait a minute, I have carrots and potatoes. Guys, next episode, I think I'll probably do some more sort of basic stuff, like... Because to take on the Wither, I'm gonna want, like, full enchanted diamond armor. But to go miner for diamond armor, I kind of would like a fortune pickaxe. Which does mean I do need an enchantment table. Now, I'm not willing to walk through the whole effort in between episodes. At the end of this, I say next. See, guys, I'm saying a bunch of stuff that will potentially be for next episode. A bunch of stuff might just get done in the next episode, but it does just depend on how much, like, essential other stuff, like, there's a couple other things that need to get done. But But like again, Iron Farm. But guys, it's kind of nice being back. Instead of getting the world skills in between episodes, I think what I will do is set up a area that I can enchant. Now, I don't have room in my house, but I could always just make an enchantment house. But again, guys, a bunch of that stuff's just a case of, before I get thinking about building stuff in my house, it's like, how big do I plan to extend my house? And to answer that, I probably will just leave my house how it is, and just sort of make a proper, like, storage area, and just extend this about. Well, because I could go back and forward between the nether for hours and basically not get nothing. And I think I'm gonna go for potatoes. Also, guys, why this won't be from a complete row, just because there's just a couple that aren't fully grown yet. Almost 2 full stacks. No. I'm saying with those and those, I would have got, 3 stacks. But like I was saying, guys, at the time of recording, there's a bunch of stuff I do need to get done in Craftymon, and that will get done at some point. It's just at the minute, world is slightly more of a priority. Now, I'm not going to go mental. Because, like, with wheat, like, you do need ginormous wheats, but for, like, potatoes, I feel like one of these would have been enough. It was just a case of, I built the thing. But, guys, I will let those potatoes cook. For next time, for next episode, more than likely, because I do need to basically make a pen, and I think for the most part, what I am going to do is terraform this, which will get done in between episodes. Because, guys, what I'll do in between episodes, I will try and do it in between this episode and next, which shouldn't hopefully take me too long, is basically terraform this. I'll chop down the tree now, and have it as a giant open thing, and open, by open I mean as sort of an area thing. And the animals will basically, like, pigs and chickens will have a smaller area. For the chicken coop, I probably will do what I did on New Adventures, except in this case, I'm not showing me spending hours but the chicken coop won't be the main priority. Basically, a random point, like 3, 4 episodes time, more than likely, the chicken coop will probably be done. But like again, I'll just mass breed cows, which does mean I'm officially going on a no wheat diet. I'll basically just mass breed cows and slaughter them until I get like 3, 4 stacks of lava, and just make a bunch of bookshelves. Like guys, I showed that process in New Adventures and it took a while. Like honestly, guys, it was one of like the last things in New Adventures. Like you give me like 2 seconds to double check. Also, guys, if you're new around here, please like and subscribe. Look, guys, I did 50 episodes of New Adventures, and none of them are on playlist, which is completely my fault. At some point, I might. But like I say, whether it be in between this episode or next, this area will get terraformed. And the base, see, part of me wants to leave like a nice little path in between because I like this. What I probably will do is just have a common area, or I might just like, terraform from up to this point because I think it potentially would be easier, and basically just go up to like here, the 4 areas. Like I say, guys, I'll try and get that done in between episodes. No guarantees because again, at the time of recording, there's still stuff. At time recording it's Wednesday. I'm recording the next episode of Monster Hunter World, which will be out tomorrow. Guys, when this comes out, it'll be Friday. Next Monster Hunter World will be out tomorrow for Saturday. At the time of recording, it's Wednesday. Oh, I need to be in it now. I'll then be recording Thursday, the Saturday episode. And there's still stuff I need to do, so basically I have like a day to get some stuff done on a couple things, get stuff done on World. Otherwise, we'll be spending the beginning of episodes instead of facing either a pissed off monkey or a raging, or something with so much slime it wants to blow everything up, to facing a hyperactive Stygian Zinogre. But guys, hope you have enjoyed. This is Tiger signing off, and I will see you next time. Bye!